Okay, looks like we are live now. Hello, everyone. If you're joining from LinkedIn Live, welcome to the No Slides conference. I really appreciate you all joining and thank you for organizing this to Timo. I think it's a fairly novel concept and an idea to have speakers talk about anything and everything, but without the use of slides. So I'm quite excited to be here and share a little bit about AI agents for digital experience and what that really means. What do those 5 words together mean for someone like yourself who's joining right now on LinkedIn? So what we will do is we will wait for another 30 seconds. I know there's this awkward moment where people are just like pouring in, but we'll wait for another 30 seconds or so and let people join in. If you are already on LinkedIn and watching this, I would love to hear from you where you are joining from, what time zones you are in, and yeah, just get to know a little bit better about who are the people who are here with us today. About me, I am Divyansh Saini. I'm your speaker for this session, and I am very excited to be speaking for the next 25 odd minutes. And what we'll do is a mix of a demo, a mix of thinking out loud into a document about what AI agents are, and also like leave you with some questions about what this could mean for you and your organization, your work that you do today in your life. So, all right. So I think we're 1.5 minutes in, so I'm not going to waste any more time and just get started. So, very quickly introducing myself. As I said, I'm Divyansh Saini. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of this company called Houseware. Houseware has been around for the last 3 years, and the reason why I started the company is because we saw a core problem when it comes to knowledge workers trying to work with data. We realize that a lot of problems today exist because they don't either have access to the right data, they're not able to ask the right kind of questions from that data, and how do you really make this work for other functions, but let's say outside of data? So things like marketing, product, sales, how can they use better actionable insights from data? And more recently, we've been focused on digital experiences as a use case, and which is what I'm going to be talking about in this slide, in this talk, no slides. Um, so let's jump right in, right? So the one of the first things that I wanted to cover in today's session is this phrase or this word called AI agents. And I think, as you all know, the title of this talk is digital experience. So we'll come to the digital experience part of this in a little bit, but I'm just going to take it away for now just to cover a introduction about AI agents. Now, I don't know how many of you have already used the latest release from OpenAI ChatGPT. They released a model called O1, and one of the things that people talk about when they talk about O1 is the fact that it is very good at reasoning. Now, if you think about reasoning, reasoning is something that we all are naturally in tune to, or we all are taught as we go through school, we go through our education. What does it really mean for AI autonomous system to have reasoning with it? And somewhere similarly linked to it is the concept of also an agent. So I think if you think about reasoning, or if you think about any knowledge worker today who has the reasoning capability, we can also think about the other capabilities that they have. And similar capabilities apply to AI agents as well. So we all have access to certain tools. So right now you are watching this on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is one of the tools that you use to, understand better about what's happening in the ecosystem, connect with your network. And similarly, there could be other tools as well. There could be something like a Google Calendar, a Gmail, and things like those, right? So an agent also has access to the tools. An agent has a memory in itself, which is basically to say that, hey, the moment you start your day in the morning, you already have the retained memory about what your organization is up to, what the organization context is, what did you do yesterday, and where do you pick up from. So all of that comes in memory. Now, the other thing that we all do pretty much on a regular basis is something called planning. Now, again, as I'm delivering this talk, I'm thinking through, okay, like what are the different things that I have to cover? Do I have to go through a checklist? And how do I really go through that checklist? And finally, when I have to go through that checklist, I take certain actions, such as writing on this Excel draw whiteboard, right? So these are the 4 different things that an agent can do. And when people say that O1 as a model is really good at reasoning, what they mean is that O1 is, or ChatGPT is now evolving from just being a primitive agent where it had access to a model and you gave it a prompt and it gave it the response, but rather it is relying on the right kind of tools, it is doing the right kind of planning, it has the memory from your previous sessions, and not yet, it cannot take the actions yet, but hopefully down the line it can also take actions in the future, right? So that's what people typically mean about when they talk about agents. What are agents really in the ecosystem? And it's an interesting concept because so far the way most of the agentic systems or AI systems have been operating is that there is a model, which is what we call, sometimes people call them foundational models. So in this case, it could be like something like an O1. Um, we have a prompt, which is what I as a user am delivering, and then like finally you would have a response that the model delivers, right? So I'm obviously oversimplifying things here. So I prompt the model and I get a response, and I'm a user somewhere here. Now, what we are saying is it's not just about the model anymore. It's not just about how well it is trained. And we'll go into the depths of training as well, and at least give you some resources to understand what's different about O1 when it does reasoning. But rather, as an agentic system, this now also has access to memory. It also has access to the planning, and it can obviously take the right kind of actions in the future. Now, it's a fairly interesting concept because this is still an evolving field where organizations are trying to figure out what agents can do for them. But the promise in the future is that, hey, can agents start to do a lot more than what humans are able to do? And not just in terms of the amount of work, but also can they do things that were just not possible before? Now, before I step into and take a segue into what digital experience and AI agents for digital experience means, I would like to refer to this blog published by Theory Ventures, which talks about how O1 is different and how it will really change LLM applications. So, if anyone is interested here on LinkedIn, I know people who are watching on LinkedIn like to read stuff on LinkedIn. So, if anyone is interested around where these improvements are coming when you're using and prompting ChatGPT these days, this is a good introductory blog to understand what is chain of thought reasoning, how are these different ways of improving the model exist, and what the future of applications could look like from here. So I'm just gonna paste this on the chat. Okay, it looks like I cannot paste this on the chat, but I will refer to this and share this after this talk with everyone on LinkedIn. So yeah, that's a good resource to understand what's really happening. Now, when you think about these agents coming together in a more practical use case, we think about marketing teams in consumer companies. Now, um, at Houseware, we think about marketing teams at consumer slash B2C companies. And what we realize is that a lot of marketing teams in consumer companies, let's take the example of IKEA. I think it's a fairly global brand where a lot of people in the US and the Europe, in Asia are familiar with IKEA as a home furnishing company, or even as a utilities company for a lot of people, a lot of us. Now, if you think about IKEA, they are present in multiple regions. They have teams which are global. They also have multiple languages where they support their catalog and their products. It's also a digital business in the sense that they have a website and an app, but it's also a physical business in the sense that they are able to also deliver the goods to you. They are able to give you an experience where you are able to experience the product in their physical stores as well. So it's a mix of both. Just like any large business, they have digital as well as physical, and they have a marketing team which is upwards of, I think, 5,000 people, um, plus marketing teams. Now, when such a diverse team really comes about to create a good experience for end users like you and me, they have to think about a lot of different things. And what they have to really think about is, hey, is our website's SEO optimized for different regions? Is our website SEO targeting the right kind of keywords? Are we running ads for the audience that we should be running ads for? What are the different things that we are realizing as lessons from those ad campaigns? Are we able to bring them together into our learnings? And interestingly, what really ends up being is, if you think about a 5,000 people marketing team, it ends up being a very interesting mix of organization structure, where you would have someone like a CMO, you would probably have a VP of demand, you would probably have VP of Europe, um, different personas who are looking at different priorities. You would have a VP of brand, and like there would be a few more hierarchical levels here, and then you would have your content marketer, at a more individual contributor level, or you would have an SEO specialist, or someone who's a paid specialist, who's essentially looking to run a lot of ads. Now, the interesting thing about this is, if you think about this organization structure where there's a CMO who's leading the charge, and there's a content marketer, SEO specialist, paid specialist. What we have started to realize at Houseware is that for us, or any organization, um, to be attributing their value with AI agents, they can't just say that, hey, we're going to replace a content marketer with an AI agent, or an SEO specialist with an AI agent, or like even a CMO with an AI agent, because these jobs tend to be so complex and they have so much business context available to them, that they will always trump the AI agent in most cases, at least today where we are at. And there's a lot of talk around, like, will AI take our jobs? While that may be a thing in the future, what we believe is that we have to really start from the bottom, start to solve for the most rudimentary use cases that a content marketer or SEO specialist, a paid specialist, is trying to solve for in an organization like IKEA, and then build those complex agents, right? So if let's say I am a marketer for, let's say, Google Ads, at one level, there's someone who is one or two levels up in the organizations who is looking at conversions or PPC conversions as a metric for themselves. So how do you really ensure that agentic behaviors are available across all levels of the organization, and truly you have a library of agents that understand the context of an organization like IKEA, and is able to really impact them very easily and very quickly? So that's one of our core beliefs, that you have to really start from the bottom here and build AI agents that can really attribute a meaningful change in the jobs of the life of the content marketer. Now, the second belief that we have is, like, I'll go back to one of my other visuals here, is that, like, there's a prompt and a model and a response, and the things around the model will keep getting improved as AI agents become a thing. But one of the other beliefs that we have is that it's somewhere here is also one of the most interesting things that lie, which is organization context. Now, organization context could be, like IKEA, how big is it? Which all markets do they operate in? But most importantly, it also means, what's the pulse of the business? What that means is, hey, like, how much revenue did we make last year? How much revenue did we make yesterday? And having that information supplement everything else that the AI agent is doing is gonna really is gonna really make a core difference in the kind of outputs that we are able to generate from the agentic system. So it's no longer a prompt and a model, but rather it's prompt, model, which typically works on unstructured data, and what we like to call here structured data, which typically sits in a data warehouse, like example Snowflake. So the reason why Houseware agents are different is because we are able to tap into that structured data source, which has the key insights about how your business is doing, what your revenue is, and how many visitors you are getting. And this could mean different systems of records for different organizations. For someone, it could also be Salesforce. Yes, last week was Salesforce's conference called Dreamforce, and they also released a lot of new innovation around agents. Called They have this whole thing called Agent Force right now. Okay, so with all that context, I think what's most important, and which is what I wanted to demo in this No Slides conference this time, is talk about the most, I would say, primitive kind of agents, and give you a demo of what they look like, right? So what I will do is I will take you through a quick demo. Right now, I am on agents.houseware.io, and you can maybe play along with me here, and you can go to the website and try along these AI agents by yourself. So agents.household.io is the link, very simple. And I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to the home page, go to agents here on the left sidebar. And what I see here is a library of agents for marketing teams and creating a better digital experience. So if I'm a user of IKEA, how can a marketing team inside IKEA give me a better user experience? And as I said, like what we are doing is you're building multiple of these agents and trying to then see how do they really combine with each other. If you have a Google Ads agent, do we have a higher level agent called a conversions agent, which really helps a CMO to drive meaningful value from the budget of $1 million that they have in their pipeline for this month? Let's see. So bunch of agents here: SEO audit agent, product analytics, very specific to the kind of experience that users are having on the product. Google Ads optimization, audience segmentation alerts, search ads manager. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm a search specialist at IKEA, or rather I'm going to take the example not of IKEA, I'm going to take an example of ASIC. So I like running and I have lost touch with running recently, so I want to buy a new shoe because if I invest more money, maybe I'm going to become a better runner. I know that doesn't work really, but I'm going to pretend to be a search specialist at this company called ASICs. And I'm just going to describe what I want to be running my campaign for, so I can select where am I really targeting users. So in this case, I'm here in San Francisco, so I'm just going to target United States users who speak English predominantly, in my case as a search ads manager. What I'm going to say is I am looking to run my campaign for long distance runners, let's say who have a very specific foot type called overpronation, which is like, hey, they want stability shoes because of overpronations. And let's see what this comes up with. So what this is doing now is it is trying to understand all kinds of keywords on the internet and trying to figure out the right kind of data from the Google Ads API to give me Google Ads API, Google Search API to give me the best kind of ads that I can run for this. So best shoes for overprenators. I see the average monthly searches. What's the CPC like? What's the competition for this like? Low bid, high bid. It gives me a range of that as well. So very easily I can get to this point. And let's see, I want to target this, and foot pronation. Let's say we do this, right? So now I want to make some changes to this, make these more vivid, and make this more vivid so that we find like some more keywords here, hopefully. And again, it's trying to take my input here, which is an unstructured prompt, trying to understand, okay, what are the first results I came up with, trying to plan what could be the best results here. And we have obviously like fed the right kind of information to this agent to think like a search ads manager themselves. Okay, so you see like how the results are changing now. So it says top rated long distance running shoes. Now, I did not know that average monthly searches for this could be higher than everything else that I've been looking at. And I'm going to select a few keywords. I think I'm happy with what I'm seeing here. And I'm just going to click on proceed. It's going to give me a campaign analytics of what I can really get out of this in the next month. And it estimates a budget and tells me that, hey, for $150 of a budget on an everyday basis, this is what you can realistically get. And now next, what it's doing is it's trying to generate the ad groups for it. So what you see here, it is generating the headlines. It is generating what the content is going to look like on Google Ads, and also the right kind of descriptions, right? So all of this is happening because it now understands the context of me being a person who is a search ads manager from ASICs. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this link because that's where I want to be pushing people to, and just send them to a6.us because I'm running ads for people in the US. And that's it. That's pretty much all that I have to do. I can select for the best kind of headlines here, and I can select for the best kind of ad groups and just get going from here, right? So the moment I create this campaign, it will start to create this in Google Ads for me and just get this campaign live. Now, all of this entire process, which is finding the right kind of keywords, finding the right kind of keywords which have high search volumes, low competition, generating the copy for it, generating the entire ad campaign brief, takes a lot of time for a lot of different companies, sometimes ranging from 3 to 4 weeks to just get one ad campaign live. And what we did here is that, given that this agent has the right kind of context for being a search ads manager, it was able to do that fairly quickly without having to go through all the pain of back and forth with multiple people in the organization and things like those, right? So it makes life super easy, and it makes life super easy because it has the right kind of context. Now, let's say we made that ad campaign live and people are landing on the site, people are looking at the right kind of shoe. But after that, we feel that they're not converting, or we want to be reducing our reliance on the ad channel. We want to see, like, can people come here naturally because of SEO efforts that our team is doing? A company like ASICS probably does SEO efforts as well. So what we're going to do is we went to SEO audit agent, and what I can do is I can just put this one link here which says the fall color collection, and run this audit. So what it's going to do is it's going to go to this page, understand what are the different SEO characteristics does this page have. Do the images have the right kind of meta? Are the links tagged in the correct way? What are the changes that we can do to have more people come to this page organically without having to spend ad efforts? So it's going to take a little while because it's doing the hard work of what an agent is supposed to do. It is tapping into the right kind of actions, the right kind of memory it has, the tools that it has access to, and it's doing the planning also behind the scenes as well. So we're going to give it a little while, but hopefully this gets finished quickly as well. All right, so it says that for this particular page, the website score is 65/100. XML sitemap was not found. Indexing of the website is not happening somehow. And it has few recommendations here, which is reduce the number of inline CSS instances, deprecated HTML tags, external links, etc. Now, typically, SEO audit is not something that website teams likes to do. SEO audit is something that not a lot of teams like to act on. So SEO audit agent really makes it super easy for those teams to work on this. Now, the next thing I will do as SEO manager for ASICS is I'm going to say, hey, can you write me a PRD for all the suggestions? And it's going to do just that, so that I can just copy paste it. I can download this report, send it to my team, and then hopefully all of these changes get implemented into ASICS website, and they're able to go for a better website score than 65/100. So while it does that, I think I just want to round up my talk by saying that like this is where the world is heading. Try out all the agents that Houseware has to offer, and let me know if you have any feedback when you use any of these. It would be very interesting to see that. So yeah, as we saw, based on the recommendations that the search SEO audit agent came up with, we now have a PRD. I can just copy paste this and send this to someone who's on the website team, and they are going to be able to directly act on it, right? So sometimes this process for us at Houseware used to take weeks to do this, right? We had a checklist for doing SEO audit. We have a website team which does the changes, and sometimes this whole process takes a little bit of time because there's a back and forth involved. Not everyone, including me, does not know the specifics of how SEO is supposed to be validated, not validated, and things like those. So um, it's pretty interesting to just see how these systems are getting better and better over the days and over the years. And I think it's going to be even more interesting after this. So we have approximately, I think, 8 agents available now that you can just go ahead to agents.houseware.io and try it for yourself. Or you can just click on discover, and we have a lot more agents in the works here. So the ones that you see request on are the ones that are currently not available, and we are right now working on them. So let us know which are the ones that you would like to be requesting next, and how you want to be using them as well. And I'm excited to hear your feedback on all of this. So that's all from me for now, and I hope you enjoyed this little no slides demo and an introduction to AI agents for digital experience. I would be excited to hear more from you, how you're using some of these, how you're using AI in your workflows today, and go from there. Thank you very much. Have a good one.